Hello guys, and today I'm going to be doing another league table video. I did the Premier League last time and you guys liked it. I mean, you didn't like it, but a lot of people saw it and it got over 30 views, so thanks for the support. And first of all, we're doing the Serie A table. See how the teams did, how they need to improve, and just stuff like that. So first of all, we have Pescara, and they have less points than their position. They have a goal difference of minus 44, and this was a dreadful season in the Serie A. There will be a strong side in the Serie B, pretty difficult to penetrate, but it's not going to be a good time. They have as many wins as Aston Villa got in the Premier League when they went down, so they didn't have a good season. Let's move on. Now Palermo, this is pretty shocking because they were a good side. They have a good side, and in the Serie B, I think they'll go straight back up to Serie A. They're a really solid side. I think they will be the ones winning the Serie B out of all the three relegated teams, and the teams still in Serie B. They still have the same goal difference, but they're over them by 8 points. So that just shows how bad Pescara are. Palermo had a couple stars in their team, but of course it wasn't enough in such a difficult league. No, Empoli, they put up a good fight to get out of relegation, but the team in front of them were just too good. The team in front of them were performing pretty well, but Empoli were as well. It's kind of disappointing for them because they finished eighth. They finished 6 points ahead of Palermo, and they were a decent side this season. But I really thought they wouldn't go down. But actually, I thought they actually really would go down. But they put up a good fight, so good for them. And the reason they put up a really good fight is because they were only 2 points away from 3 points away from relegation. Caronte, though, they were too good. They almost drew Juventus. I'm pretty sure once. They were really good. And they did well to avoid relegation. They still had a terrible goal difference because they did 58 goals but scored 34. But Pescara scored more goals than all of these teams, so that's pretty upsetting for them. They just conceded 81 goals. And that's what that's a goal difference of minus 44. That's kind of harsh. But Caronte, I think next season they might end up going down. But they're in the Serie A for now, and they did well. Now Genoa, I thought they would really be down there, trying to squeeze out of relegation. But they were pretty good. They were 4 points away from the bottom. They had a goal difference of minus 26. They conceded 64 goals, but scored 38, which is more than any other team in here. They were really good. Now, I don't think Genoa will go down next season either. They're a pretty solid side, and if they do go down to Serie B, without doubt they will be very difficult to beat. Next up, we have Bologna. I think that's how you pronounce it. Who had a very good season. They finished 3 positions over relegation, still had a negative goal difference, but scored 40 goals. That's pretty much all you need in Serie B to get out of relegation, unless you concede 81 like Pescara. That is just madness. But they did fine, and they have 40. And they finished 5 points ahead of Genoa. And yeah, they were a really solid side as well. And they will be in the Serie A. Chievo, this is a very good season for them. They could have went down, but they performed very, very well to stay out of that relegation zone. Next season, they probably could avoid relegation again, but if they lose some of their star players, it will be difficult for them to climb back to glory, because glory for them is this. Udinese once had a player with an insane FIFA card. It was like 88 rated. So they're normally a mid-table kind of side in Serie A, and this is a so-so season for them. Next up we have Sassuolo, who are also a mid-table side, so this is a so-so season for them. Inter, though, they lost to them. I think that was the most memorable performance, and there was no case season for them. Next season they will be in the Serie A, of course, and they will put up a good fight to finish top 10. Now Calgary, this was kind of shocking. I thought Udinese or Sassuolo or even Genoa would finish higher than them, but they finished 11th. They had a terrible goal difference because he had 76 goals. They just managed to win 14 games, and they just managed to win games, and that's how they got here. They only drew 5, so I don't know how they managed something great like this. Now, some poetry, I think their goal will be finish top 10, top 8, so this was an average season for them. But to finish with a negative goal difference, that's not really impressive. They managed less wins than Calgary, but less losses than them. They only finished a point higher than Calgary. I think they'll be happy, satisfied finishing top 10, but they'll try and hit top 8 next season. Now, Torneo finished top 10 as well. And it's thanks to the blazing firepower striker Balotelli, not Mario, but the Italian goal scorer. He has a €100 million buyout clause, which is £86 million, and Arsenal are going to be in the race for him, and they're going to be in the race for him more than ever because now they just won the FA Cup, and that could be attracting Balotelli. But it's pretty clear that he's not leaving for a €100 million buyout clause. Well, let's see the top 8 now. Fiorentina, their goal was to finish Champions League, Europa League, at least finishing in Europe. They failed, and it's pretty sad for Fiorentina because I thought they would over one team that I'll discuss later who finished 5th. And I mean, they finished with 60 points, which is good, but if they want to finish, but their Europa League or Champions League ambitions have sank, and they'll have to try next season with, and they need to make a lot of signings to improve their side. But they beat the team that's coming up, who really had it, and that team is Inter Milan. AC Milan, that's the team we haven't discussed yet, so that means they've already guaranteed to finish higher than their rivals. The derby is ending, and Fiorentina nearly finished higher than Inter Milan to put up a good fight for the Europa League spot. But Inter, not in Europe. They were in Europa League, but they crashed out in the group stage. We don't know what went wrong with Inter. But it's pretty sad. They could be losing Icardi and Handanovic and a lot of their stars. Perisic could also leave to Man U. So Inter Milan need to use their money wisely because they've just failed to sign James Rodriguez as well. He's just left to Man United, so they need to fight to stay as a global superpower. Next up we have AC Milan, finished higher by the rivals by a single point. They had a 2-2 draw in the Milan derby, and it's pretty disappointing for Inter not to finish higher than AC Milan. I was hoping Inter to finish higher than Milan as a Man U fan because, well, I don't know, I just wanted them to rebuild. Both teams need to rebuild. But this is not about Inter, this is about AC Milan. And AC Milan have a good squad of youngsters. They've had a decent season. They're in Europa League. They will be in Europa League next season, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, but yeah, they probably are in Europa League next season. So yeah, I wonder how far they'll make it. Maybe the finals against Arsenal. I don't know. Maybe face off Everton. AC Milan versus Everton. That would be pretty cool to see De La Foe play his old club. If it's either AC Milan or Everton, because he's out on loan. And AC Milan are an exciting team. So they've went from a global superpower and tried to rebuild themselves with youngsters instead of splashing out €30 million on terrible players. Now Lazio, they must have had the season of their lives finishing 5th. Well, not really. Finishing 7 points higher than Milan. I'd love to see them back in Europa League. This is so exciting for me because I just want to see them back in Europa League. I don't support any of these teams. Again, I'm a Man U fan. But I want to see these sides rebuild because there are a lot of fallen champions, specifically in Italy. There's only one team dominating the Serie A. You probably know who they are, but I'll discuss them later. They just won the title for like the 6th consecutive year. Lazio, though, in the Serie A, in the Europa League, I think they'll make the quarterfinals. They'll be a really solid side. And if they make the right signings, they could even fight for a Champions League spot or keep the Europa League spot. But now let's see the top 4. Now Atlanta, I was shocked seeing them finishing top 4. This is madness. I mean, they're an average side. They finished 10th, 12th, 13th, but they're top 4. So I'm pretty sure that's the Europa League draw for them. And I wonder how they'll do as well. Again, I think they'll even crash out on the group stage. But I think they'll make round of 16. And let's move on to the 3 Champions League teams. Who will they be? We already know them. Roma, Napoli, and Juventus are left. Now, I think it's pretty, I think Napoli will be pretty sad that they can't finish higher than Roma because they had firepower attack and Phil is really average and unsurprising position, but they finished higher than AC Milan and Inter Milan, and Lazio, who scared them off to a Europa League draw. But they're in the Champions League next season. They're in the Champions League this season, made a round of 16, and I think Napoli will make the round of 16 again, but not make it further than that place. But still, a lot of the stars could be sold, and I think Napoli won't finish in the Champions League spot next season. But let's move on to Roma and Juventus, who won. Of course, Juventus won the league with 91 points. That's 4 points. So if they played in the Premier League, they would have been 4 points away from the league record. And Chelsea this season with 2 points from the league record for most points in the Premier League. But this is not the Premier League. This is the Serie A, and Juventus dominated it. With Conte, without Conte, they were great. And Roma, they put up a good fight for the title. They conceded 90 goals, though. No, they scored 90 goals, which is more than Juventus. But Napoli, they scored 94. That's easily the best in the league. But yeah, Juventus won it by 4 points. They usually win it by a good country mile. But this season, Roma were closing in on Juventus. They beat them 3-1. Juventus were under pressure, but at the end of the day, of course, Juventus won. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Who do you think deserved the title? I think it was Pasquera, but who do you think it was? Comment below. If you want me to do one on the Bundesliga, first I'll need to learn about how the relegation playoff thing system works. But I might do League 1 next season. La Liga, every time I upload one, but it doesn't really work. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. Comment which one you want to see next. And if the series goes well, we can even move to lower leagues, like not lower divisions, but not as good leagues like Everdees or Liga NOS or the Scottish League. But what do you think we should go for next? Comment down below, and I hope you enjoyed.